was not doing correctly.
His legs weren't, oh, wait a minute. His feet were too close together.
His spine,
No?
his
Nope.
spine is wrong, it's what,
His
Well-
hips aren't up in the air.
Well, there is definitely something here, but he's not that warmed up, so he could definitely have his knees bent. So one thing is that he could be bending his knees a little bit more and pushing his hips away from his hands. That would relieve that. And what else? Because that was half of it at the
the
most.
neck was not.
The neck could be more relaxed. Okay. What else? His feet are not even. That's true in this case. Absolutely. That's not how he was.
No, but he's like
He's doing
this
it
now.
now.
Right.
Yeah. Well, while we got him here, yeah, that's true at this point. So you want to even out your feet. But what else?
His fingers were not wide open.
His fingers were not wide open. What else about his fingers?
Overextended arms.
Okay, so no one's figured out the one thing that I really gave him this.
Shoulders.
Yeah. Okay, his fingers were not even. He had one hand in front of the other hand. Okay, relax for a second, guys. Okay, so when you see downward dog, you're going to see that all day long. One hand in front of the other hand. And that's why it's so critical that mats are aligned to the lines of the room, because if they're crooked, you're not going to detect that. And as I said, a lot of times, you can make small mistakes one time, but if you do a mistake like this every day for 10 years, it's going to build tremendous imbalance in the body. Okay? So you want to, now another thing is that if you only looked at Mark from one angle, if you only saw him from one angle, like say you were looking at him from this angle, you would never have detected that. The only way to have really analyzed anybody, anything, is to do a circle. Okay, you want to catch it from this angle and from that angle so you can see both directions, because that one you wouldn't have been able to see unless you were literally staring like this, and then you would have seen it. Okay? So look at the hands first. Remember, rule number one in alignment is what is touching the floor. You immediately stare at what is touching the floor, because if what is touching the floor is not perfect, it is impossible for any of the rest of the pose to be perfect in any way. So when you talk about shoulder stuff, yes, absolutely shoulder stuff. But is it in the shoulders, or is it because one hand is in front of the other? In that case, it was because one hand is in front of the other. Make sense? Did you have a question?
Why don't they make the mats with like a line across the
Some of them do.
They do?
Yeah. And if you don't have that, you take a ruler and you draw one with a permanent marker. Yeah? Just make sure you get it right.
Right.
That'll be fascinating. Alright, Vicky's up. Okay, she was doing cobra pose. No, other way. Alright, and there was, so what did you figure out about her? The feet, what about the feet? The feet are turned out, and we want cobra poses and upward dogs to have the heels towards each other. They want to be rolling in towards each other. Okay, what else did you observe? Her shoulders were scrunched up, and we really want her shoulders back and down. Okay? Those were the two things that I gave her. And of course, because none of us are really that warmed up, we might also detect some other things too. But those were the basics for that one. Okay? Great. Next person, please. Who was in the second group?
Melissa and Sasha.
Okay, Sasha, you can come first. It was your plank pose, your bottom plank. Okay, this is another extremely common mistake here. What is it?
What's in here?
Well, it's butts in the air, that's true. And why?
His shoulders, he was going over.
Yes, okay, main analysis here. Shoulders are below the elbows. Never let anyone do that. Never let shoulders get below the elbows. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for evenness between the level of the shoulder and the elbow. It's very common for people to do that I mean, have you all seen that before? I've seen that about 1,000 or more times. And sometimes even taught that, like bottom push-up. And they all look like this with a really closed chest.
Right.
Okay? Well, that means you're going to get really strong in this pattern. Okay? Do you really want to be strong like this? This is how you want to be strong? This is a sign of weakness. This is a sign of fear. Okay? Anytime the heart's closing up, this is fear. This is fearless. So we want our chaturanga to look like this. And this is what happens when shoulders are back and down and shoulders are not allowed to go below the level of the elbows. Okay?
So
Excellent.
what are you doing once you're there? Because in the manual it also said that the pelvis is the last thing to go down, but then once you're there, you can just drop on your belly from there.
Yes,
You
to
know,
go into
like-
cobra, you mean? Like,
Well, because
me what you want to talk about.
If like it says like plan you should have your shoulders a bit in front, then you go
Yes,
down. You
yeah.
don't want your shoulders
That's
to go
it,
down,
right
but you
there.
want your hips to go down.
And
and
really,
relax.
even more than that, it would even be like that.
And from
Yeah.
here you do
From
what?
there, upward dog.
Straight,
Direct.
direct.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you don't go all the way to the ground.
No, only if you're doing cobra would you go all the way to the ground. If you're not doing cobra, you would stay right there and use that. And your shoulders would never change. The shoulders would always be back and down. You'd be from here to here.
And if you do,
Never this.
if you want to go all the way down,
Then you just do it and you just drop down, nice and relaxed. You do it right until the time comes, then you drop down. On the belly, keep the shoulders down.
Okay.
Yeah? You want me to show you?
Yeah, I do, because I'm, sorry.
I woke up with a very sore neck today.
Oh, God.
But it happens. So, I want to keep it correct, and then if I want to do cobra, I just drop down.
So you're not dropping your shoulders to the ground ever?
Of course not.
Okay.
This is what we talk. Remember we said universal alignment? How we take a Tadasana alignment and we put it into every pose possible? Well, Tadasana is this. Tadasana is not that. Okay?
That's an epiphany for me right now. Okay.
Good. We like epiphanies.
I was on this.
Alright, who was Sasha's partner?
Melissa.
Melissa? What were you doing? You were doing a downward dog, your leg off the ground and your hip was open. This is what everyone does. Okay, I'm trying to give you the mistakes that you see every single day for the rest of your life in yoga. Now this is one that I only mentioned one time. I did it very briefly, so if you didn't catch it that one day, this is why I'm here to reiterate this. So relax your neck though. This is how everyone does it. They think they want to stack their hips. You don't want to stack your hips in this. You want to stay in downward dog. So this is it.
You want to square your
You
hips.
stay in downward dog. You don't ruin the downward dog for anything. And you do not compress these ribs. And so yes, you keep the structure of downward dog and the hips going to open anyway. She's feeling it in the hip, rocks your neck. Okay? So now she's got one hand in front of the other, which that's a whole different issue. In this case, in this case we're really more interested in what I gave her to do, which was to do what everyone does. They try to stack their hips here, and that's not useful.
But there's another pose, right? Or not?
That's the lead into another pose. Yeah, like that. Yeah, exactly. So, but that part where you were in that, where I gave you, that was the wrong part.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the compression of the rib cage. Alright, go ahead. We were giving you top of the push-up. Okay? What was going on here?
the head was going down.
No, the head's okay. I mean,
But it was down.
Yeah.
It was down.
the head was down.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay now. It was maybe dropping a little bit too much. Obviously, we don't want her to do this. We don't want her looking up because that's going to hurt the neck. So it's okay that it's in alignment. It's very nice that she's looking down. She could look straight ahead as well, but this is fine. Now, what else?
If, now she has her finger turned in.
She did then as well.
Okay.
That was the one. Okay? So her fingers were not in downward dog. They were slightly turned in. My intention with this stuff was to make the mistakes not 100% obvious. You know what I mean? Because if it was that bluntly obvious, then anyone could figure this stuff out. I'm trying to make the mistakes a little bit smaller, like what you would actually see in class. Okay?
They're
There's
subtle.
subtle mistakes,
Right,
yeah,
sure.
that you have to be able to detect immediately, and with a real quick analysis, a real quick eye. Okay?
Can I rewind
Is
for
that-
a second?
Yeah, question.
So for Melissa, when she did the one-legged